You guys had a pretty good first part of the season. How do you stay in first in the West the rest of the way?
Keep coming in and have practices like we had today. Keep getting after it. Staying in the moment, taking it game by game. We know this is technically the second half of the season where guys come back from All-Star break and teams pick it up. And so we have to do the same thing, but we have more than enough to be able to make sure that not only stay in the West, but to win basketball games. We want to make sure that we come out and pick it up like we left off defensively. We know it's probably be a little rust offensively, but defensively we can control that. I think we'll be fine.
LeBron, what are some of the things you want the team to work on? Obviously, a pretty good first part of the season. What about the second part?
No, I just want to continue to get better. We continue to get better every day, and we put ourselves in a position where we can win. And that's all you can ask for.
You joked that you were in your Instagram story retired from the All-Star break.
Me too.
How was it, and how are you feeling as you find like a couple of days to kind of reset?
I wish I had a couple more days. But excited to get back to see my brothers. Get back on the floor, put in that work, put this purple and gold back on. So I'm looking forward to the stretch run.
LeBron, you sent 23 students from the I Promise program to NBA All-Star Weekend. Talk about what type of experience that you wanted them to get from that.
Just feeling to be able to have a good time and be around the sport that I love, that I grew up loving and still love to this day. Just being able to experience, them being in the community, being able to help others, coming to the practice on Saturday, being a part of that, just seeing everything that All-Star has entailed. So it's great to have my kids up there in Chicago, allowing them to experience Chicago throughout, probably it's the best weekend in the NBA, and that's All-Star Weekend.
Talk about the importance of the I Promise program to you.
Just trying to give my kids an outlook on life that may be greater than it was before I got to them. Give them an opportunity to be as special and as great as they can be, and just using my influence, using my platform, using my my inspiration is to help them believe that they can be anything in the world.
Yeah, and you have the children's book coming out now.
Yeah.
I Promise, that's amazing.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You gonna pick one up?
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Get multiple copies.
DeMarcus went on a podcast with Matt Barnes and Steve Jackson over the weekend and spoke about how he envisions his role in the playoffs with his team. He said that he can operate on the block and he'll be ready to catch and shoot. You guys thus far haven't made any moves at the trade deadline or in the buyout market. How do you view DeMarcus as a potential piece down the line with this group?
Listen, I think first, his health is the thing that we're, mostly engaging and watching him, and he's progressed every single day, every single month to the point where he was limping. Now he's actually shooting and actually jumping on his jump shots and progressing every single day, every single week. He's out on the floor right now getting his work done. So, we want to continue to stay optimistic about his health. We don't want no setbacks as he's had before in the last couple of years, but his health is most important. And if we can get Cuz anywhere back to what he was capable of doing, a couple of years ago, then it's a plus for us. But there's no pressure on him. There's no pressure on our ball club, to have him out there right away or whenever that case may be. We want him to be healthy and have a great, clear mind and a great attitude, which he's done since he got here.
Guys, wondering on the last play of the All-Star game, was that something that you had identified trying to get a switch over for AD to cut in? Was it just a feel thing? How did that play develop?
Nah, Coach drew a play in timeout to get a pin down for Kawhi. We was doing the Toronto versus Philly game clincher play where he hit the shot over Embiid. They switched out on AD, and two guys went to AD, so Kawhi went directly to James. James drove the baseline and threw it to CP in the corner, and then CP drove middle, kicked it back to me, and they was scrambled defensively. For a second, I was about to go one-on-one, which you saw in the picture that I posted with me and Giannis. And then when I saw that Kyle Lowry was on Anthony, damn, that sounds crazy calling you Anthony. I've been hanging with your family too long, man. They call you Anthony. When I saw Kyle on AD, we just made eye contact, and I already knew he was going to duck in, and it was just a bang-bang play right there. So,
And your perspective, just yeah.
Same thing.
No, no, but he's in a different spot.
you ain't
No,
see
it
the,
was
you
the
ain't just
same
hear
thing.
you
Different
ain't see how I
spot.
broke that down. Like I broke the whole thing down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but when you write the story, then
No,
he
I'm
gets
just
to
playing.
quote it.
No, I'm
No,
just
it
playing. I'm just
was
playing.
it was the same thing. All that happened that he said, and then I was drifting out to the corner. So I saw him going one-on-one like the picture he posted with Giannis.
And then he turned and said he
and then I
seen
turned
Kyle,
and
even though
seen
Kyle's a
Kyle.
bulldog. He looked. He said,
And then I looked at him. We made eye contact, and then
duck in,
Duck in,
foul,
foul,
free throw.
free throw.
Missed the first one on purpose. Draw the crowd in, and then made the second.
LeBron and AD, what do you think of the new format for All-Star?
It was great.
yeah, I love it.
It was great.
I think it brings the competitiveness back to All-Star. I think it makes us play the first 3 quarters. A lot of times is, let's get the crowd involved. Let's, show off, do dunks and all that, or whatever. But now each quarter means something, and so I think it brings the fun back to the game.
I think it was actually like 15 minutes of actual game time because there was no running clock. Did you feel that? Yeah, in the fourth. Did you feel that at all?
Oh, I felt it after the game.
For sure.
You didn't see me at the podium? I kicked my shoes off. I was dead tired. Yeah. Yeah. I was ready to get a glass of wine after that one. That's for sure.
You were talking before about having the I Promise kids there in Chicago. What was it like for both of you guys having the kids that you were playing for in the crowd watching you guys play? In terms of the organizations.
It was dope for me just because I'm from there, and the organization we was playing for actually heard him before, and so I think he actually asked me which one to pick, and so it meant a lot more to me. And to have them, I think that was the first time we actually had them sitting right there next to us, and they when Giannis' team go up, they screaming Giannis, and when our team go up, they screaming Team LeBron, and so it's like they're giving us extra energy, extra motivation to win a quarter. So I think that was pretty dope, and I think the dopest part is when we won, they all just like ran on the floor, and so it was dope. I like that concept of bringing both charities there and cheering us on.
Is there any way that you guys can make that very lost community across the country?
Yeah, I think for both of us, community is a big thing. It means a lot to us, and any way and any chance we get opportunity to impact the community, whether it's bringing kids to a game or actually going down the community and doing something physically, we try to do so.
Last 2 questions, please.
LeBron, what's been your approach after the All-Star break on how to get the team moving forward? You in this case, 29 games left, I think.
Stretch run. We know how important it is. We know how important every game is. And how we can continue to get better and better and better each and every day. It's all part of the process. So can't shortcut the process. We're not going to think too far ahead. We're going to approach tomorrow like this is our own Game 7. We're playing Memphis Grizzlies, and we need to go at them as we know they're going to go at us, and we just build on that. For me personally, it's my leadership. It's the way I play the game. It's the way I approach the game. It's my mindset to lead these guys every night we go on the floor. So I'm looking forward to these next 29.
LeBron, DeMarcus said on that same podcast last night that after seeing your leadership up close this year, he told you that you should run for president. Do you remember him saying that? And
Yeah, he
is
said
that
it.
something you've ever given thought to?
No and yes. No, I'm not considering, and yes, he's said it a few times as the season been on. So, nah.